Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be going over all of my settings once again in game. I know I just did this like a week ago or so when the new season dropped, but there are a lot of new settings because I recorded that before the new season technically. So I'll be going over all that stuff once again for you really quickly though. I'm just going to run through everything and mainly go over the sensitivity part. And then I'm going to be going over my warm-up routine that you can replicate in game starting today. I feel like this is going to be the best warm-up routine that's going to incorporate everything you need to get going for your ranked matches. I mean, your unranked matches, your quick matches, whatever you want to play, really, to start improving. So first, in the settings, I'm going to run through everything. The only important thing here is the drone after prep. You want that semi-automatic or manual. Definitely not automatic. And then on HUD, there's nothing really here. I use night mode for audio, if you're wondering. Let's scroll through. 84 FOV here. 65 brightness, I know some people care about that. For our controls, here's the most important stuff. I use 55 vert, 80 horizontal, that's the main sensitivity. If you want to know how to find your perfect sensitivity, check out that video from like a week back that I did at the new season launch, and you can see in that one. My left stick Deadzones 5, right stick 3, I feel like those are the perfect numbers if you don't really have stick drift at all. That's what I would usually run. If you have stick drift, obviously bump up those numbers just a little bit. I wouldn't go above like 10 on either of them though. I'd keep the right stick a 5 max. If you have stick drift, just get a new controller at that point. If you have over 5, you're pretty much throwing on the right stick. So for the new trigger Deadzones, I use 10 and 10 for each of them. That's the default. I would go down to 5 too. Right now my trigger is very sensitive on the default controller. And I use trigger stops already anyways usually. Not right now on the default, but on my Power Ray Spectre controller, I do use trigger stops to the max, so I feel like 10 is already good enough. But if you don't have trigger stops, you could even try turning these down to 0. You might shoot your gun a little bit at the start on accident. That's why I try 5 really. 5 or 10 though is a good number I feel like. I want to go below 5. 0 might be just a little too much now that I think about it. At least have it on 10 though, so you can actually shoot your gun. These are my ADS settings, 25, 29, 33 for the main scopes, and there's the rest if you need them. I have my advanced controller options enabled, but I don't really think it makes a difference either way. If you enable or disable, it's whatever really. As long as they have all 0, that's what I use. I don't use any of the advanced stuff, so it doesn't really matter too much there. I use black optic color, no screen shake obviously, and then I use blue for enemies because the claymore lights are easier to see on blue, I feel like, so that's why they're reversed. But anyways, let's get into the warm-up part of this video. This is the main thing I want to go over for this. So, for the first thing, you want to do the map run. It's going to be on target drill, I believe. It's called a map training, actually. I think it's called like a map run somewhere else, but you want to do 4 to 5 of these pretty much. And you get to change between attacker and defender as well. I do like a couple attacker, a couple defender. Use your most used weapons, like on attack, if you use the G3 a lot, AK-12, whatever. And then on defense, use some of your most used guns too. That's what I would recommend doing. Either to use your most used weapons, like your main guns, or use the hardest guns to control. So like SMG-12, Goyo's gun, SMG-11, you know, stuff like that, Ella's gun. You want to use pretty much any of the high recoil guns. That will be as hard as possible to hit headshots. Because you want to turn aggressive on, obviously, too. They actually shoot at you. Even if they don't do damage, it is like they're actually shooting, so you know if you're getting hit or not, which is a good thing to practice. So as you can see in the background right here, I was using some of the harder guns, too. And the enemies actually always change spots, that's the thing. That's the best part about this mode. In Terrorist Hunt, they were kind of always in the exact same spots. You kind of know where they are. There's only like 2 or 3 presets for them. I feel like there are more for this, and you can do different runs too. You can change the site from basement, first floor, the other first floor, to the top floor on most maps, obviously. Some maps, of course, there's like 2 top floor sites. That's just an example, though. There's always going to be 4 different site run-throughs you can do, and there are different presets within each one, so there's a lot of different options and layouts that the game has put in for where the bots are actually standing or crouching at. I don't believe they go prone. I haven't seen one yet, so I doubt it. But they are always like randomly crouched in corners or standing at weird open spots, which is good practice for like flicking, for tracing, stuff like that. Not really for tracing as much. You can trace around the corner then flick, but here's the maps too. It's not a full ranked pool, but it is a good majority. It's like half the maps. And it has the new map, which is the most important. For learning the new map, you want to do that for sure because it is permanently unranked for the season and it's not bannable. So you're really going to want to practice this one and get good at it fast. Otherwise, you're going to have a big problem when you have to play that because you are going to have to. There's no avoiding it unless you abandon every single time. But you want to learn it. It's not a bad map, I don't feel like. I think it's going to be pretty decent at least. It looks good at least, so there's that. But from what I've seen, I think it's going to be pretty good. I believe the basement bomb site's the best, and then like one of the first floor sites. Top floor site seems a little eh. But that's for another video to go over. So I'd recommend doing a couple of these map runs at other maps, like maybe do a chalet, do a bank, whatever, in order again. Just switch it up each time, switch up the sites each time. And then do a couple new maps at the end. So just do a couple layer ones, do an attack, do a defense, you know, stuff like that. Just so you can get a good feel of this. This is a very good tool to learn the new map, way better than Terror Stunt was. That's literally telling you the room and where it is on the map to go to. And you'll be cycling through each room. So a very good way to warm up there. And practice at the exact same time. So after that, you want to go to the Versus AI playlist. I usually just do 1 or 2 rounds of this. If I win my first round, that's probably all I'm going to be doing. It's not the hardest thing in the world, obviously, but in a 1v5, as long as you have them on advanced, their aim is ridiculous. Like, if you're not ready for a fight and they run at you, they will kill you instantly. So turn that to advanced so it's actually harder. Turn matchmaking off so you don't get in with randoms, obviously. Don't want that. And then do like a round or 2 of this until you're feeling warm. You can get your drone in a good spot, like practice around droning, getting on the spawn, shooting your defaults. Just the basics of Siege, basically. I would only do 1 or 2, like I said, because it does take a few minutes for a round. So at this point, after all that, you're looking at about 15 minutes only. It's not too bad. Also, the other part of the Versus AI, the targets are actually moving, which is the one downside of the map runs. They're all stationary, but they are moving in this mode, so that's good practice for moving targets too. Especially for like tracing and stuff. And you can warm up your positioning. You got to be ready with your gun up at all times, because that Valkyrie gets crazy, let me tell you. That Valkyrie will run at you like an idiot. So basically like real ranked players, so good practice there. But then after the Versus AI, I'll go into a free-for-all, maybe 2. Just depends how the first game goes, if it's a quick one or whatnot. Or if I like just win it easily. So I'll do like a game or 2 of that. That'll only take like an extra 10 minutes too. I think a game's like 7 minutes, so that's why I usually just do 1. But if I like join in progress and only play for a couple minutes, then I'll do an extra. So the whole warm-up routine will take roughly like 15 to 20 minutes, just depending on how the games go. That's pretty much it. Obviously the free-for-all is better for real players, because they're moving, they're trying to shoot at you too. That's why that's the best warm-up. I love how they added that. That's been my go-to warm-up ever since it came out. Just free-for-all, not like the deathmatch either, just free-for-all. Again, in the free-for-alls too, you want to use the guns you're actually using in-game, go for headshots, or you can use hard guns. That's what I always do. I always use like SMG-12 and the SMG-11 loadouts, just to make it harder for me, because I know I'm going to be at a big disadvantage compared to like all the Ash mains and Warden mains that are in the game, so very good practice. Even if you lose, it's whatever. I think that's pretty much it for the warm-up. I'll give you guys a bonus drill too, so you can go into the shooting range, and I'm not going to have a clip in the background or anything. But all you have to do pretty much is go to the last range at the very end, and press the options. Make sure infinite ammo is turned on. The time and all the settings don't really matter too much. Like, sure, you can do moving targets if you want, but just make sure the infinite ammo's on, and this will be a very good tip to practice recoil. You can literally just spam your gun as much as you want. Like, take F2 extended barrel or SMG-12 or something bad, and just start spraying it just infinitely. And this will be a very, very good drill to practice your recoil. Maybe I will try to put in a clip just so you guys know what I'm talking about here. The thing about infinite ammo is you never have to reload your weapon, so it's very good for practicing this kind of stuff. You can try like flicking, your spray controls, that kind of stuff too. It will get very difficult as you go on because your thumb's going to get more tired. It will be kind of out of place, which is very good for warming up. That will get your thumb warm. There's not much better than doing that. Just don't do it too much because then you'll overwarm and then your thumbs are going to be tired out by the time you actually want to try to play the game. And you obviously do not want that to be happening. That's pretty much everything I do to warm up though. If you do everything I just told you, that'd take like 30 minutes max, but probably less. It usually takes me like 20 minutes to warm up, maybe 15 on a good day if I'm feeling good. But if my hands are like super cold, maybe it could take 30 minutes that day, and that's okay. Because every time you warm up, you're also practicing your mechanics, which is a good thing to do. Like if you start practicing for just like 2 weeks straight, that's going to make you so much better as a player. Because that will add up. Like 20 minutes a day for 14 days is like what? That's like at least 4+ hours of practice you're putting in just 2 weeks. Just doing your warm-ups for a few minutes. I think it's plenty worth it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video too. You enjoyed getting my settings and everything. Remember, I wouldn't copy down settings from people either, especially the sensitivity. It's not going to work for you most likely. It's all personal preference. You got to understand what the settings do and what the sensitivity changes do. And then you got to find your own from there. Sure, it can maybe help you. It could be a good base for you to start, but it might not be like your perfect sensitivity that you want to use. Again, if you did enjoy this, leave a like down there below. It does really help me out a lot. I couldn't thank you enough for all the support I've been getting recently. I've gotten like 1,000 subscribers in the last month, which is insane to me. I don't know how that's even possible, but my channel's been going crazy. You guys have been loving the solo queue content. There's going to be a new one dropping tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. Subscribe if you're new to the channel too. I try to do daily uploads, but if not, I do like 5 to 6 videos a week at the minimum, so stick around for a lot of videos. But I'll see you in the next one. Bye.